found the perfect house but don't like its surroundings? Wouldn't it be great if you could just pick it up and plonk it somewhere new? Then we have some good news for you. There are actually specialist firms who can pick up, move, and place an entire building. It sounds fantastical, but it is actually a real thing. So how on earth do engineers move entire buildings? Technically called structure relocation, the process is both technologically challenging and incredibly interesting. Theoretically, any building can be moved, but heavy masonry or large buildings might not be financially viable to move. In fact, the largest building ever moved was an entire hotel called the Fairmont Hotel in San Antonio. This 1,600-ton building was relocated in 1980 at great expense, not to be confused with transporting prefabricated buildings or mobile homes. Structure relocation should only be considered as a last resort. Oftentimes, it is far cheaper to simply demolish and rebuild a building from scratch. But, of course, for structures like historical buildings, this is not desirable. Before engineers can even consider digging up a building, months or sometimes even years of planning are first required. They will scour blueprints of the building in question and thoroughly investigate the structural integrity of the building to find the best way to lift and move it without seriously damaging it. Buildings are very large structures, and the location of obstacles like bridges, power lines, trees, and other buildings all need to be accounted for to ensure the safe passage of the building. Services like gas, water, electricity, and sewage systems need to be disconnected. The ground around the building then needs to be prepared for the lifting works. Bulldozers are often used to level the ground and clear obstacles. Sometimes trees and large plantings will be lifted and relocated rather than being destroyed. Openings are then cut into the foundation and enormous I-beams are installed to take the weight of the building and support the structure. Sometimes special cribs are constructed using interlocking posts to support the main structure during transport. With the beam supports and crib in place, the building is ready to be lifted from its foundations. With the building lifted off its foundations, sliding beams are then placed underneath to help move onto specially designed dollies with rubber tires. The dolly is then attached to a powerful truck, ready for relocation. The truck, dolly, and house then make the arduous journey to the building's new location. Once the building arrives at its new home, it is positioned over its new foundations. With the foundations ready, the building is then gently lowered and all necessary utilities are reconnected. The building is now, once again, ready to be used. Moving an entire building is no small feat and requires specialist skills and knowledge. But as we have just seen, it is certainly not impossible. So if you have found the perfect home but don't like the neighborhood, why not consider having it moved? Win-win.